Let me know. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Type in the chat if you can hear me. Or give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, thank you, Elsa. Elsa, my mic died. I gotta charge it. Anyways, thank you so much for coming in. Whenever you come in, just take your time and settle in. What I was saying earlier is that, excuse me, I am a little under the weather. Still, I was supposed to have my live yesterday because I was feeling under the weather. And hey, Veronica from South Carolina. I'm still a little under the weather, so you are going to have to really, really excuse my voice this evening. However, I still showed up. I'm still here. We're all here. So, tonight we are talking about something so many high achieving women experience but barely want to admit. And when I look down, I'm looking over my notes because I just want to get to the point. I don't want to get off topic, so you'll see me glancing down every once in a while looking at my notes so that we stay on target. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? Everyone get settled in. Whenever you come in, just let me know where you're from. So a few things that many women, high achieving women experience. And when I say high achieving, I mean achieving spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. I stand 10 toes down on this. I believe every woman is extremely high achieving. I don't want anyone that comes into this live getting it misconstrued saying or thinking that they are not a high achieving woman. Hello, scam. I hate getting people's names botched up, but we are going to stay on topic. And the one thing that high achieving women experience, but they don't want to admit, is mental overwhelm. I want you to type down in the chat if you've ever felt mentally overwhelmed. Completely mentally overwhelmed. Type down in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever in your life experienced mental overwhelm, whether it was in your past or you're currently experiencing mentally being overwhelmed. I know I felt overwhelmed mentally over a dozen times. I have experienced it. I will admit that. I will totally admit it, right? And I don't mean the kind of overwhelm where everything is falling apart, where you feel like your life is blowing up left and right and left and right, and things. One thing is a domino effect. One thing happens over here, then something else happens, then something else happens. That is actually not the kind of mental overwhelm that I am speaking of on this live this evening. I'm talking about the type of mental overwhelm where you are actually able to conquer and you are very much capable of handling everything that's being tossed your way. Everything. You're right, you're able and you're capable of handling everything. I'm not talking about the mental overwhelm where you're not able to handle it. A lot of times we do get very overwhelmed mentally and we're able to tackle and take care of everything and handle everything the way it's supposed to. And yet, your mind never fully turns off. Your mind never. Hello, surprise, Malazi. Whenever you come in, write down in the chat where you are viewing from. I like to know where everyone is viewing me from, right? The kind of mental overwhelm where your mind never truly shuts off. Have you ever felt that? I mean, let's be honest. You could solve problems. You're very capable of solving problems. You are very capable of organizing things. You could perform at an extremely, extremely high level. You are more than capable of being able to do these things and handle these things, right? You're very much capable. Very, very much capable of it. Right? You're capable. You're able. You organize your home or events or things at work. You're a problem solver, right? Us women are problem solvers. We wear multiple hats. We can do it. We have this can-do attitude. We're able to do it. We're able to wear multiple hats and perform at high levels. Very, very high levels. However, but your brain feels like it's carrying and opening. It has all of these tabs that are still open like a computer. When you are on your computer and you open up all these different tabs, you have all these different tabs open because you want to view multiple different things. You work in one area, then you remember, oh, I want to look something else up. I want to research something else. Or maybe you don't want to research something else. You want to do a little bit of shopping. So you have in one tab, your work tab open. Then in another tab, you have some shopping in there, right? Hello, Arvin. Welcome. Let me know where you are. Write it down in the chat. You have another tab open. And then maybe, just maybe, right? You want to book a vacation, so you have a work tab open. You have a shopping tab open. You have a vacation tab open, like the place where you want to go. Then you have an airline tab open, right? You have all of these tabs open, and you know you're able to work at the same time, shop at the same time, book your flight at the same time, look at the place that you want to travel to at the same time. You have all these tabs open and ready to go. However, one of the patterns that I consistently see with high achieving women, right, is something called decision fatigue. It's something that I see in high achieving women time and time and time again, is decision fatigue. I see it all the time. I see it at work. I see it in their jobs. I see decision fatigue in their families. I see decision fatigue in their businesses. And people rely on you, right? Because you're extremely competent. Okay, Harvin. I love DR. It's a beautiful country. And I'm glad that you're here in the U.S. Thank you for coming on to the live. And thank you for letting me know where you're from. I see this all the time. I see this all the time. People truly, truly rely on you because you're extremely competent of handling all of these open tabs. We all have a lot of open tabs. Everyone has their own things that are going on, and everyone has their own personal life. But if you think about it, our brains are like a computer, and we have all of these tabs open, and we need to learn how to close out a lot of the tabs that are open in our brains. We need to close them out. They have to be closed out. Right? But often what happens is that the nervous system never gets a break from the responsibility. Our nervous system never, ever gets a break from that responsibility because we don't know how to shut it off. We don't know how to shut it off. We don't know how to shut it off. So when life looks stable, you know, life looks stable on the outside. It could look completely stable and organized. However, because you have all these tabs still open, your brain is still in problem solving mode. It's still in problem solving mode. Because you don't know how to shut it off. You need to learn how to shut it off. That's the reason why I do what I do. I love helping women reset their nervous system. You have to reset your nervous system. You have to reset your nervous system. Right? I'm sure most of you don't know how to reset your nervous system. You think that you know how to reset your nervous system. You think you know how to close out all the tabs that are going on in your brain. You try to shut and close out some of the tabs, but you're unable to do it. You're unable to. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I want to ask you something tonight. I want to ask you something tonight. And I'm sure there's more than one person in here. Whether in here right now in the live or whether or not they catch it in the replay. Hello, Misty. How are you? Hello, I can't read your name. 143, welcome to the live. Let me know, Misty, where are you from? Where are you from? 143, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? How many of you in here is always thinking about what needs to be done next? England, welcome, welcome, welcome. Russia, welcome, welcome. Wow, wow. From, yes, from all over the world I have people in here watch me from. How many feel like your brain is always thinking about what it needs to do next? Harvin. I know. Your brain is always thinking about what needs to be done next. It's so hard. Like I said, it's so hard to close those tabs out. It's happened to me. It's happened to me. It has definitely happened to me on more than a dozen occasions where I'm always thinking about what needs to be done next. Meanwhile, I didn't close out the tab. Open up the tab. Close the tab from the previous thing before opening up another tab. That experience is so very, 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 and I stress very common in high achieving women. Hello, Baba Sultan. Where are you from? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat where you're from. Where are you from, Baba Sultan? Let me know in the chat. Put it down in the chat. And for those of you that are watching the replay, you are also able to write down in the chat and let me know where you are from. Germany. Wow, from all over. From all over. So let me tell, I'm from the United States. I'm from the Northeast. So let me tell you something that most of you, well, some of you do know in here, that your nervous system Turkey, welcome from Turkey. Your nervous system has two primary modes. Did you know your nervous system has two primary modes? Two. Hey Amanda, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome back. You're here on every single one of my lives. You are much appreciated. And for those of you that don't know, I do lives twice a week. I do lives on Mondays. Yesterday I didn't come on because I was sick and I'm still a little under the weather. That's why my voice sounds like this. I do my lives on Mondays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I know, Amanda, but I won't stop my lives. I'll come on regardless whether I'm feeling well or not. But if I'm too sick, I won't be on here. Just like yesterday, I was a little too sick, so I didn't come on. That's why I wasn't on yesterday. So here I am Tuesday on this live. But your nervous system has two primary modes, right? One is the action mode, where we're constantly doing something, always. And the other part is rest mode. Rest mode. However, when a woman spends so many years being the responsible one, right? When a woman spends so many years being the responsible one, the nervous system stays in action mode at all times. It's always on the go, always in action. It does not know how to put the brakes on. It always just has to go. Especially if you are the responsible one. Think about it. When you're always the responsible one, and I want you to really sit and think about this. Even when nothing urgent is happening, even when there is nothing crucial, there's no buildings being burnt down, there's really nothing. Thank you, Baba Sultan. When there's nothing going on, even when it's the tiniest thing, and then there's somebody else that can actually resolve that problem, issue, or anything that's going on over there, you actually volunteer yourself to fix that problem or issue. I want you to think about that. I'm telling you, when the world is not even collapsing and it's a small issue, I bet you're one of the ones that volunteers to fix that issue that's going on over there. You do. Why? Because you're so used to being in action mode. You're not used to closing all the tabs. You're not used to letting somebody else handle XYZ that's going on over there. You're the one that always wants to resolve it, whether you were asked to do it or not. Whether you were asked to solve that issue or not, you go on over there and you want to solve that issue. Yep. You sure do. This is why women feel extremely mentally exhausted and extremely see, Amanda? That's right. This is why women feel extremely mentally exhausted when they are capable. You're capable of doing many things, and you're completely exhausted. Right? Capability is not the issue. Capability is not the issue. That's not the issue that's going on right here. You're not, let me break it down for you. You're not running around helping others and doing extra stuff even when it's not needed, because, you know, that's what you really want to do at the time, because it's not. That's not true. It's not because you're capable of solving a problem better than somebody else or handling that issue. That's not what the problem is. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I will put on Thursday, I'll put my Cash App in there on Thursday's live. So if you come back, and some people have been asking me that, I'll put my Cash App in there next time. I'll be back on live on Thursday. Thank you so much for that. The issue is not capability, right? Is that your nervous system has absolutely, Miss Malfoy. Hey, Miss Malfoy. Thank you for always being here for the lives. Thank you for always being here for the lives. Thank you for always showing up. And when you come in, please share the lives out so that we can reach more women and we can reach more women. We are building a movement and we are building a big community. We already have people from all over the world coming to my lives. Keep sharing these lives out. Share the lives out with people that could use this information. Share the lives out. Share the lives out. It is because, thank you so much, Amanda. It is because you have not learned. Your nervous system has not learned how to switch anything off yet. It hasn't learned how to switch anything off yet. It hasn't learned. It has not learned. And that is what I teach in my one-on-one coaching, my private coaching. It's how to shut it off, how to turn it off. And when the body never exits action mode, clarity slowly turns into overwhelm. So when you don't know how to shut it off, when you don't know how to shut things off, and you start becoming crystal clear on certain issues, it starts to become very, 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 very overwhelming, to where, you know, sometimes it may be hard for you to breathe. You may start panicking, right? You start panicking a little bit. You may, what else do people do? Procrastinate. I see that in a lot of women too. Procrastination. They procrastinate. How do you share go into the live when you're in here? Just go into, you should look on the bottom. Somewhere on the bottom of your screen where you're watching the live. Somewhere on the bottom. And I'll have like an arrow. And I'll say, it'll have an arrow. If you see the arrow on the bottom, it's a curved arrow. And share that via text message. It'll ask you, do you want to send a text? Do you want to send it via email? You can send it that way. That's how you can share the live out. Clarity slowly turns into overwhelm. And you'll know, like I was saying a short while ago, you'll know that you're getting overwhelmed because you'll start procrastinating and putting things off. Because of what? It becomes a little too much for you to handle. Even though you're able and you're more than capable of handling things, it does become a little overwhelming. That's what we don't want. This is why I say something that that surprises so many people. What I'm about to say surprises so many people. But I stand 10 toes down on it. Right? Success must feel safe in the body. If success does not feel safe in a body, we are going to have to regulate your nervous system. Success must feel safe. It must feel safe in a body. Because if your nervous system still believes it must stay alert, if your nervous system still feels like it needs to stay on alert, because let me tell you something, sometimes it takes a while for your nervous system to catch up with your brain. Everything is connected. So your nervous system must feel safe. It must. For you to feel successful and accept a success in any area of your life. Because all success does, when you achieve success in any area of your life, it creates more responsibility instead of peace. I'm going to say this again. If your nervous system still feels that it must stay alert, success simply creates more responsibility instead of more peace. You're not going to feel at peace. You're going to feel something heavy, like a heavy weight on your shoulder. It's going to feel like you have more responsibility. And that's not what the life of any high achieving woman actually really wants. They don't want that. More responsibility? They don't want to feel more responsibility than more peace. Absolutely not. They don't want that. And I want to ask another question tonight. I want to ask one more question tonight. When was the last time that you actually felt mentally? When was the last time you actually felt mentally quiet? Where you felt totally at peace up here? Thank you, Niall. Thank you. I do have nurses in my family, though. I do. I have some nurses in my family. When was the last time you truly felt mentally quiet, right? Not distracted, not scrolling, but actually calm. When's the last time? I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you a little secret. When you're mentally calm, I'm going to tell you what you're not going to be doing. And you're going to say, Brandi, what are you talking about? When you're mentally calm, you won't be on social media scrolling. You won't be doing that when you're mentally calm. When you're mentally calm, you don't do that. We do a lot of scrolling on social media. Or we'll go to the television and we'll flip through the channels with our remote. Flip, flip, flip. And excuse me, Netflix. Right? Yes. It's the instant dopamine fix. And that's because you're not mentally calm up here. This has to be mentally calm. When you're mentally calm, you don't need that instant dopamine fix. You don't need it. There's no need for instant dopamine when you're mentally calm. You don't need it. And if it's been a long time since you've been mentally quiet, I want you to write quiet in the comment section if it's been a long time. And I'm no exception to the rule. It's happened to me plenty of times. It's happened to me. Right? Learning nervous system regulation allows for the brain to exit constant problem solving mode. Allows your brain to regulate, right? It teaches the body something that's very, very important. When your nervous system is regulated, again, it teaches your body something that's very, very important. It teaches your body that being calm is safe. Being calm is extremely, extremely safe. And when calm begins to feel safe, all of your power returns. All of your power returns. When you have all of these tabs open in your brain, all of these tabs open, like I said earlier in my life, it's overload. It's too much going on. So much overload to whenever you go down to lay down at night, how do you get to a calm state to feel safe? Just look at the world differently. I'm genuinely curious. That is a good question, Niall. That is a very, very, very good question. In order to get to a calm state to feel safe, you are going to have to reset your nervous system. And it's going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It is something that is practiced on an everyday basis. And I have private one-on-one coaching where I show that. But it's not, you have to be willing to put in the work. It's not something that is going to come easy. It's not going to come very easy. You seriously have to be willing to put in the work. And it is very, very difficult. And for those of you that don't know me or know my background, I am a published author. I am a public speaker. I speak all around the world. I help people. The reason why I do what I do is because I love transforming people's lives, especially women's lives that have overcame trauma. I am an SA survivor, a sexual assault survivor. It happened in 2022. I wasn't reading, writing, walking, talking. I wasn't doing any of those things because I also had a stroke. I've done a lot of work and I've done a lot of research to get to where I am today, which is the reason why I do the coaching and the trauma recovery and the nervous system reset. Your nervous system, basically, your nervous system controls your whole entire body. It controls your mind. It controls even the way you taste things and you feel things. Yes. Yes, Niall. Yes. It takes time. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. Yes. You hit the nail right on it. You hit the nail right on the head. Right there, Niall. So, for the women that are listening tonight and realize that they have built success, but their nervous system still is constantly on alert. I do work privately, one-on-one with high-achieving women, and I stress this again. When I say high-achieving women, I mean women that are successful mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. It doesn't just mean financially, okay? These are women who want their nervous system to finally feel safe inside the life that they created. You know, men too. You work so hard to achieve this life that you have. So hard to achieve this life that you have created. However, you're still finding it difficult to process certain things. You still find it difficult to, even if someone gives you a little compliment. Let's start with a small compliment. Oh, I like your hair. You sit there side-eyeing them and being confused, like, really? Oh my goodness, they said they like my hair. Instead of just saying thank you. Just saying thank you instead of coming out with this whole long thing. Oh, I put this in it and I did that and I did that and that. No. Thank you. When you're going on and on and on and trying to, another thing, here's another thing. Or when you get invited to an event and you don't want to go, right? You don't want to go to that event. You don't want to. You're tired. But you don't want to tell them no because you don't want to hurt that other person's feelings. You know darn well you don't want to go. You know darn well that you're freaking exhausted. But you wind up going anyway because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Get out of here. Or you tell them no, but you give them a whole entire dissertation about why you won't be able to show up. Your nervous system is not regulated, I'll tell you that. It's not. If you would like deeper support with that, type ready in the comments. Type ready in the comments. I want to leave you here. I want to. Hey, Ashley. Exactly. Some people have a whole entire dissertation about why they can't go somewhere. And I also remind people, you know, no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. You don't even have to continue going on. No is no. Can you come? No. Do you like this? No. Do you want to go here? No. Ashley, I'm sorry. And I'm getting ready to get off. I'm so sorry, Ashley. You can watch the replay, Ashley. You can watch. I'm gonna put the replay tomorrow. I got on at 7:30, but Ashley too. You're another one that catches all of my lives. I wasn't on yesterday because I wasn't feeling good. And actually, you know what I usually sound like? I'm still not feeling the hottest. But I didn't want to have too many days in between. I'll be back on. Thank you, Niall. I'll be back on. Again, I do my lives on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I do my lives on Thursdays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I want everyone to share the lives out. I want everybody to send it to the people in their lives that would be able to use this information. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. But I want to leave you with something tonight. Your ability to handle responsibility is not the issue. That is not the issue. You are capable. You are intelligent. And you are strong. I want to let you know that you are capable. You are intelligent. And you are strong. But your life that you have built deserves something important. It deserves something very, very important. It deserves a nervous system that makes you feel safe inside of it. I'm here to tell you that. And why is that? Because success must feel safe in the what? Success must feel safe in your body. It must feel safe inside your body. And if nobody has told you today that they love you, that you are loved, thank you so much, Niall. If nobody has told you today, I'm going to tell you this. I'm looking directly in the camera at you. If no one's told you, I'm sorry, I get so excited. Woo! I love you dearly, and I appreciate you very, very much. I know I'm not for everybody. If I'm not for you, it's okay. I'm not for everybody. I'm on here to reach those that are meant to be here. I love you and appreciate you. Subscribe if it resonated with you. Come back on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everyone have a wonderful rest of your night.